Hi everyone. I hope everyone is getting my voice. All right. So I welcome all of you to another session of your NEET Bytes. Hi guys. So a very warm welcome to all of you to another session of NEET Bytes. And today we are going to talk about our last chapter of 11th standard, and that is control and coordination. Right. So basically, again over there, I'm going to talk about chemical control, not the neural control. We are already through with the neural control. We have discussed about the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, various parts of it, and how it functions and all. Right. And that was a very fast system to basically control and coordinate the actions of my body. But there is a slower system which controls and coordinates the action of my body. And that slower system which controls and coordinates the action of my body is my endocrine system. Right. So I'm going to talk about our endocrine glands today. And I hope all of us know what are endocrine glands, right? Endocrine glands are my ductless glands. Yes, Sahil, yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome Shriya. So endocrine glands are my ductless glands. Their secretions are secreted in very minute quantities and they are generally termed as hormones, right? And the hormones are secreted by these endocrine glands into the immediate extracellular space. So, if I have an endocrine gland like this, so let us say this is an endocrine gland composed of many cells, it's going to secrete its secretion immediately into its nearby extracellular space. And from here, from this extracellular space, the secretions are going to be picked up by the blood capillaries, which are flowing nearby or which are there nearby. Fine. So the blood capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels, have only one layer of endothelial cells lining them internally, right? So the hormones which are secreted by the endocrine glands will diffuse into these blood capillaries, and thus through the blood it is going to be transported all across my body, but it will act only on its target uh, organ, right, or target cells. So it's going to spread all across my body through my blood vascular system, but it's going to act only hi bhai neta. That's a funny ID you have. But it's going to act only on the target organ, which is which is going to respond to this endocrine hormone, right? So I think this is something we all know. We have also learned about the various types of endocrine hormones which are secreted by various endocrine glands, right? There are proteinaceous hormones, there are steroidal hormones, there are certain amides which act as endocrine hormones. Fine. So there are many various kinds of hormones. Let us quickly move ahead. And yes, pituitary, pineal, and of course, even your GI tract is one of the largest endocrine, I can say, organs. Right? The first hormone that was discovered by the mankind was secretin, and that was discovered in your GI tract. Anyways, let's move ahead without wasting much time and let us talk about the first question of the day. So, chemically, hormones are what? I think I have just discussed it. Are they proteins, steroids, or biogenic amines? So, let's make it quick and let us quickly discuss about what are chemically hormones are. What chemically hormones are? Are they proteins, steroid, or biogenic amines? Are they proteins only? Are they steroids only? Or are they amines only? Let's make it quick. I'm looking for your replies. Let's make it quick, guys. Oh my god, this is such a simple one, but we are struggling with the replies. Okay, TechDoc says A. What about others? Let's make it quick, guys. Let's make it quick. A for sure. Okay. Sanjay, it is A. Yes. Yes, Khalil. It's A. Shriya, it's A. See, you have got many hormones which are proteins. Let me talk about your proteinaceous hormones. What about your growth hormone, dear? It is a protein. What about your oxytocin and vasopressin? Each is composed of 9 amino acids. What about your TRH, which is again composed of 3 amino acids? What about your insulin, glucagon? All are proteins. There are many hormones which are steroids. What about your testosterone, estrogen, progesterone? Fine, all these are your steroids. Biogenic amines are going to include your adrenaline, noradrenaline, fine, and even your thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, are your biogenic amines. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yes. So, shall we move on to the next one? All right, let's move on to the next one. And let us talk about this question. It quickly talks about which one of the following pairs correctly matches a hormone with a disease resulting from a hormone deficiency, right? So remember, we are talking about a hormone deficiency. So is relaxin responsible for gigantism? So is a deficiency of relaxin responsible for gigantism? Or what about prolactin? Prolactin, the lack of prolactin is responsible for cretinism. Parathyroid hormone, lack of it is responsible for tetany. Insulin, okay, is responsible, the lack of insulin is responsible for diabetes insipidus. Okay, Mohammed says D. Techdos Doc doesn't know anything. Meghna says it's D. Shriya says it's C. Well, guys, here the answer is pretty interesting. The answer is C. Remember, relaxin is responsible for basically relaxation of the muscles of the lower reproductive tract of the female just before the childbirth, right? Prolactin is responsible for milk secretion. Parathyroid hormone is secreted by parathyroid gland. Fine, it is also termed as PTH. And this hormone ensures there is enough. So when parathyroid hormone is secreted, it takes up the calcium from my bones and helps in the dissolution of calcium ions in my blood serum. It also stimulates the absorption of calcium from my gut. So it elevates my blood serum calcium level. Fine. So lack of parathormone. Mohammed, why? What happened? Oh my God. Saurabh, no issues. But if you have biology, be here with us. All right. So what I was telling you, the parathyroid hormone leads to elevation or increase of blood calcium ion concentration. Fine. And lack of blood calcium ion will lead to tetany in muscles, right? Vigorous and uncontrolled contraction of muscles, skeletal muscles, is tetany. And that is caused due to lack of calcium ion. And when the lack of calcium ion will be there? When parathyroid hormone is not being secreted enough by my parathyroid gland. I hope this is clear. All right. Okay, the difference between diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. See, diabetes mellitus is type 2 diabetes. It is caused due to lack of insulin. Fine. And diabetes insipidus is, you can say, hyperurination. And this happens due to lack of ADH, antidiuretic hormone, also termed as vasopressin or arginine vasopressin. Fine. So lack of ADH leads to diabetes insipidus. That means more urination. I hope this is clear. All right, let's move on to the next one pretty quickly without wasting much time. And the next one says, which one of the following is an amine hormone? So Is progesterone an amine hormone, or thyroxine is a amine hormone, oxypurin is a amine hormone, insulin is a amine hormone? We have got four options here. Let us quickly know which out of the four is a amine hormone. Let's make it quick, guys. I'm waiting for your replies. Let's make it quick. These are all very simple questions, very easy questions. Let's make it quick. Okay. Sanjay say it's option C. Arvind says it's C. Okay. Everyone is going with C, but the answer is B. C. Progesterone is a steroid. It's a derivative of a steroid. Fine. Thyroxine is derived from tyrosine, a amino acid tyrosine. Fine. Oxypurin is a kind of purine. Insulin is a proteinaceous hormone. So here the answer is B, to be very precise. Yes, Ramaprasad, the answer is B. All right, let's move on to the next one pretty quickly. The next one says, which of the following pair of organs includes only the endocrine glands? Is it the adrenal and ovary? Is it the parathyroid and adrenal gland? The pancreas and parathyroid? The thymus and the testis? Read the question very carefully. It's a very tricky question, and the reply is pretty interesting. Khalil says the answer is B. Bhai Neta says it's B. Sanjay says it's B. What about others? Harish, you say it's A. Tech Doc says it's B. Well. The answer here is B. See, only word has to be emphasized over here. So it's only an endocrine gland. It doesn't function as anything else. Here, ovary is an endocrine gland, but also it is a primary reproductive organ. So it is rejected from the list. What about pancreas? Pancreas is an endocrine as well as an exocrine gland. So we have to exclude the option C. Testis is a primary reproductive organ of human males. Therefore, this option is also gone. So option B is the correct answer over here. I hope this is clear to everyone. Shall we move on to the next one? Yes, pancreas is both an exo as well as an endocrine gland. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which one of the following hormone is a modified amino acid? So this should be easy again. Progesterone, prostaglandins, estrogen, epinephrine. Come on, let's give the answer quickly. Guys, I'm waiting. Jaldi. Let's make it quick. These are all very easy questions. Okay, Mohan says D. What about others? Tech Doc says D. What about others? Let's make it quick. Shreya says D. What about others? Rama Prasad also says D. Harish says B. Sparklin says D. That's a nice name. Aman says D. Bhai Neta also says D. What about others? Khalil says B. All right. Let me discuss the answer pretty quickly. This is an easy one. You already know progesterone is a steroid hormone, right? You already have learned prostaglandin is a derivative of arachidonic acid. What is an arachidonic acid? It is a 20 chain, right? It is C20 carboxylic acid. And it is a polyunsaturated acid. It has got 4 double bonds. So arachidonic acid. So arachidonic acid is the base for prostaglandin. Estrogen is another steroid. Right? Epinephrine is derived from tyrosine again. So your answer is going to be D. Yes. Let's move to the next one pretty quickly. So, a steroid hormone which regulates glucose metabolism is cortisol, corticosterone. Yes. Is it A steroid hormone which regulates glucose metabolism is cortisol, corticosterone, 11-deoxycorticosterone, or cortisone. What is the answer here? Let's make it quick. Okay. Tech Dog says A. What about others? Ramaprasad says B. Mohan says B. Girls, come up. Ganesh says A. Mika says B. Khalil says B. Meghna says A. What about others? Sparklin says B. Let's make it quick. Let's make it quick. Well, let me tell you one thing. We all know that cortisol is the major glucocorticoid which is synthesized in case of human beings. And which part of adrenal gland is responsible for the synthesis of cortisol in human beings? Here, all four are steroidal hormones. Which part of adrenal gland is responsible for the synthesis of cortisol in human beings? No, we don't have any option E. All right. It is the adrenal cortex. And which part of the adrenal cortex? I think we have done it. Zona fasciculata is responsible for the synthesis of cortisol in human beings. Cortisol is basically meant to suppress the immune response, right? In human beings, it is the cortisol. Corticosterone is again, all four are steroidal, but corticosterone is active in many reptiles and birds, not in humans, right? And 11-deoxycorticosterone is a mineralocorticoid. It is not a glucocorticoid at all. So it does not help in glucose regulation. Tech Doc, I hope this is clear. So cortisone is slightly different from cortisol. Yes, Kushal. All right, let's move on to the next one pretty quickly. So, which one of the following is not a second messenger in hormone action? What could be the answer here? Come on, let's make it quick. Yes, Mohan is absolutely right. Ram Prasad, the classes are there in English, your syllabus and everything. The syllabus medium of instruction is English, right? So we'll have to do it in English. Anyways, here the answer is C. Sodium. Sodium and potassium are involved in nerve impulse transmission. They are not acting as the second messenger in hormone action. Whereas the most common second messenger in hormone action, especially for proteinaceous hormones, is cyclic AMP, right? So I hope the answer is clear to us. All right, let's move on with the next one pretty quickly. And which hormone causes dilation of blood vessels, increase oxygen consumption, and glycogenesis? Glycogenesis means synthesis of glucose. Is it ACTH? Is it insulin? Is it adrenaline? Is it glucagon? Guys, let's not fight. Please focus here. Okay. All right, let's focus here. Yes, the answer is C, adrenaline. Right? You know, adrenaline is secreted by your adrenal medulla whenever you are in a tough situation, either to fight or to flee. And the result of adrenaline secretion is your increased heartbeat, increased rate of breathing, right? Tension in muscles, dilation of pupils, dilation of blood vessels, increased flow of blood, right? More of glucose in your blood supply. So all this occurs due to the effect of adrenaline, right? So the correct answer over here is going to be C. Yes. Yes. All right, let's move ahead and let us talk about the next question. So, identify the hormone with its correct matching of source and function. So, oxytocin is secreted by posterior pituitary. Is it correct? Its role, its role, growth and maintenance of mammary glands. Is it correct? Melatonin is secreted by the pineal gland, regulates the normal rhythm of sleep-wake cycle. Is it correct? So which out of the four options is correct over here? Let's make it quick. Oh, none is correct. Tech Doc, one option is correct here. Okay, Shreya says B, Mohan says B. What about others? Okay. Meghna says B, Khalil says A, Aman says B, Harish says B. Well, the correct answer is B. Remember, oxytocin is secreted by posterior pituitary, but its role is in milk ejection and in delivery of the baby, in parturition. Fine. So it doesn't play any role in growth and maintenance of mammary gland. That is primarily the role of your prolactin. Then melatonin is secreted by my pineal gland, right? And it regulates my sleep wake cycle. So melatonin induces sleep. We know that. Progesterone is definitely secreted by the cells of the corpus luteum, but it helps in maintenance of endometrium, right? And maintenance of pregnancy. That is its role, not stimulation of growth and activities of female secondary sex organs. Atrial natriuretic factor, also termed as ANF, is basically promoting ureasis. That means release of more urine, so that the blood volume in the body comes down. Fine. So whenever your blood volume increases too much, then to reduce your blood pressure, atrial natriuretic factors come into play. I hope this much is clear to all. Yes, option A is mentioning the wrong function of oxytocin. Tech doc, oxytocin is primarily meant for milk ejection reflex or for the parturition of the baby. Right? So that is the answer for oxytocin. All right, let's move ahead. Let's see the next question pretty quickly. A person is having problems with calcium and phosphorus metabolism in his body. Which one of the following glands may not be functioning properly? Is it the thyroid gland, the parathyroid gland, the parotid gland, or the pancreas? So, what could be the possible answer over here? Let's make it quick. Okay. Guys, we are talking about phosphorus and calcium metabolism. Mohan Goswami is correct. Meghna Mohan Goswami is correct. So the answer is parathyroid. The parathyroid is responsible for the secretion of PTH, parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone causes increase in blood calcium concentration, calcium ion concentration, right? And there is another hormone which is helping in this but working antagonistic to PTH. That is calcitonin. And calcitonin is released by the parafollicular cells of your thyroid gland. That helps in reducing the blood serum calcium ion concentration. So remember, we always have two sets of hormones. Thyroid gland is basically secreting your T3 and T4. Thyrocalcitonin or calcitonin, we have discussed. Parotid glands are your salivary glands, a pair of salivary glands, right? Pancreas is responsible for the secretion of insulin and glucagon primarily. That is what we have studied. So the answer is B here. I hope this is clear to everyone. Aisha? So this is a short NEET bite class, and I hope all of us are enjoying it. Okay, let's come to the next question pretty quickly. So injury to adrenal gland is not likely to affect the secretion of which one of the following? Is it the aldosterone, both androstenedione or dehydroepiandrosterone, adrenaline, or cortisol? What will be the answer here? Thank you, Tech Doc. Let's make it quick, guys. What will be the answer here? Come on. This is the last question of the day. Let's make it quick. Mohan Goswami says C. What about others? Arvind says D. Let's make it quick. Meghna says C. That's awesome. Well, the answer is C. Remember, I am damaging adrenal cortex. And adrenal cortex contains three portions: zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, zona reticularis. When zona glomerulosa is responsible for the secretion of mineralocorticoids, zona fasciculata is responsible for the secretion of glucocorticoids, zona reticularis is responsible for the secretion of androgens, like the one given in option B, right? And adrenal medulla is responsible for the secretion of adrenaline. So the adrenaline secretion will not be affected in this case. I hope this is clear to all. And finally, the final slide of the day. If we want to prepare for our NEET examinations for the year 2020, in fact, fine. So just go to the link mentioned in the mentioned below your YouTube video and just fill in the details over there, right? So just go to the link mentioned in the description. And that is all for today. So see you all again with another section of NEET Bytes next Monday. Yes. All right. So see you all again on next Monday. Bye bye, everyone.